In this video, we're going to talk about how to use Word to create a form letter using data from Access. So the first thing that you want to do is to open up a blank, open up Word, and then just choose blank document. And then once you have a new blank document, then go to Mailings, and then click on Start Mail Merge, and choose Letters. All right, you can go ahead and start typing your letter, but it's probably better to go ahead and select Recipients. So when you go to put in the form fields, it knows where the data is coming from. So I have an Access database with all the data that I want to insert in the form letter. So I'm going to choose Use an Existing List. And then you need to know where your Access database is. Mine's in Downloads, so you would just navigate to wherever you saved or downloaded your Access database and just click on it and click Open. It will ask you in this database, there's a table called People and then a query that's been run on that table, and so you can choose either one of those to populate your letter with. I'm just going to email everybody in my list, so I'm going to choose People here. And then you can take a look at the people that are in your list. There's only 5 in my database. So, and then you can unclick here if you want to exclude people for whatever reason, or include people that you didn't have before if you were using the query or something like that. Click OK. All right, and then what you would do is to start typing your letter in. So I would put the date. Say I'm creating a business letter, and then whatever you want next, your address. Just keep typing whatever that is. All right, and then here is the part in a business letter where you would normally put the address of the person that you're sending the letter to. So Word has a shortcut for that, and it's just address block, and you can kind of specify some aspects of that. I'm just going to choose the default version and click OK. And then when you put that in there, you'll see it doesn't actually put the address block yet, but it puts this form field in here. So what will happen is that when you merge this, Word will go look in your database and then fill in with appropriate fields in there for the address block. So that's kind of a shortcut for doing that. There is one kind of downside to that. To me, this is just a personal thing. The spacing of the address block looks not great to me. So one way you could get around that is you could go ahead and just do your own address block here by putting in different fields, the street address and the city and the state and those sorts of things, to make your own address block exactly the way you want it. So for right now, I'm just going to this is just for demonstration purposes, so I'm just going to keep going. And so next, keep typing, and normally here's the part in the letter where you would type in the greeting. So I'm just going to put greetings, and there is also a greeting line that you could put in here, but I'm just going to demonstrate how you would make your own. So here I want to put in my database, I have Mr. and Mrs. and Doctors, people's titles. So I'm going to put that in the title, and that will fill in with the title of the person. We'll read the database and put their title information in there. Then I'm going to put a space because I want a space between the title and their last name. Okay, if you don't put a space in there, it might run them together, and you don't really want that. All right, next I'm going to put a comma, and then start a new line, and then type in your letter. whatever you're going to type in to the person. And I'm just going to make mine short. And here I want to customize the letter, so I'm going to put the name of the town that the person lives in. So this is about some exciting things that are going on in, and then here I have the merge fields, right? So in whatever the name of their city is, and then you can keep typing in other fields as you felt like it, and I think that's enough for demonstration purposes. So then you just finish your letter in closing. Thank you for whatever you want your letter to say. All right, so I have my letter completed. I'm going to go ahead and save it. I'm just going to save mine in downloads. So there I've saved the form letter, and that's before the merge. In other words, none of the actual data has been put in from the Access database. None of it has actually been put in to the letter. It's just kind of the form of my letter. Okay. So now I want to go ahead and actually perform the merge. One thing you can do is to preview the results. And this would kind of show, what would happen if you did the merge right now. And so here you can see what I was saying about the spacing. I just don't like that very much, but you can just fix it by putting title, last name, street address, city, state, zip, and then you can control the spacing here. So I'm not going to go ahead and do that, and so the letter looks pretty good. If you decided, hey, wait a second, there are some things I need to change in here I don't like, right? Then you can unclick preview results, and then you can change it. You can delete these fields if you want to. You can add other things in. Okay, and then you can go back to preview results and kind of look at how your letters are laid out. If you want to look at all of the letters, right, before you actually do the merge, you can go back and forth through all of the letters using these little arrows here. All right, and then again, you can unclick save your results. Okay, and so now this is my form letter before the merge. You've got everything set up the way you want it to. Everything looks good, right? Then what you would do is do finish and merge. And you can either print the documents right off. I'm just going to do edit individual documents. So, and then you can save it and print it off later. It's going to ask you what records that you want to merge in, and I just want to do all, but you can do just the current record or in a certain range. I'm going to do all of them. Okay, and then I'm going to get a new file pop up. So if you have everything full-sized again, it may not be apparent, but you'll get a totally new file. And then now in this file, after the merge, you can see all of the letters that are in there. You can scroll down and look at them. So these are your finalized letters, and you can go ahead and save these. All right, and so there's your other two files, form letter before the merge. Unlike the labels, if you looked at the labels example before that I did, here, there's a lot of work that's going to go into this letter, so you definitely probably want to save this, especially if you plan to use it over and over again or modify it in the future, which is, kind of the purpose of these form letters. So you would definitely want to save this letter before the merge And then, of course, these would be the actual letters that you would want to send out. You wouldn't want any of these field codes inside of your letter that you're sending to clients or friends or relatives or family. And so you would also want to save these separate, the separate finalized letters in a different file. Okay, and so that's pretty much it.